Hello everybody, welcome back to the Youth Academy Challenge with Piacenza Calcio, and well, we are halfway through the season-ish. We're in December, at the end of December. We're coming back just before the January transfer window. Don't worry, there's no transfer news. We're not selling any more players just yet. But I thought we'd come back for a sort of halfway of the season review and explain how the season's going, some other interesting things that we've got to get through, and go through a little breakdown of the results so far. Now, I don't want to say that Italian football is full of corruption and sometimes clubs don't get money they're earned or they're owed. But starting on the finances screen, we never got our money for the cup game against Lazio. I still think we have 45% of that gate revenue coming to us. I still think we're owed it. We have only lost money since we have started the season. Quite worryingly, we've lost about £400,000. So, I mean, we should be in a position where we can have money at the end of the season in the coffers, right, for us to spend. For some reason, the board have given us 1.2 million to spend on transfers, which is just so Italian, isn't it? You've got a club that's losing loads of money, and we will not be solvent at the end of the season. But they're like, here, have 1.2 million to go and spend. Luckily for the board, obviously, this is a Youth Academy Challenge, and I can't bring anybody in. But yeah, I just wanted to start on the finances because that is very questionable about where that money's gone. Something that could make that money better is that we can now buy out our clauses on Angelo Fucci, where we could get £1 million for that, which means we would have sold him for 1.95 million. If we cash that in, and Carbone has one negotiated for 775k, so that's a lot of money that would be coming in to the club all in one go to sort of help us out. And I'm wondering if we could get that in and then reinvest it straight away into facilities and stuff like that. But let me know your thoughts. That is the question in the last episode was towards the end or towards the middle. This question is right up front. What do we do with these sell-on clauses? Do we sell them and cash in for $1 million? Carbone is 775. So Carbone is valued at 550 to 5.6 million. However, he hasn't had a great start to his career. He's played 8 games, 7 as a substitute in Serie B, but averaging a 6.5. So he's striking me as a player that I think they'll play for a few games in the first season and then do the classic AI thing, right? Play him, loan him out, and then he just releases him at the end of his contract. That's what I think Venezia are going to do. The only underlying redeeming thing he has is that in the under-19 Italian squad, he is playing quite well for a 6.8 from 3 starts. So it's interesting, but I'm not sure he's got longevity in him in this game. And then, of course, the other one is Fucci. He's worth 500 to 5.2 million. We could get £1 million for him now. He's not really playing at all. He's made 1 sub appearance in Serie A. He's playing for the youth team, and he didn't get a loan move that they've listed him for either. So I think Fucci's got more chance of making it, judging by the attributes. But obviously, FM is a game based on reputation more than anything. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. What do we do? I mean, we've got Fucci and we've got Carbone. Between them is 1.775 million that we could bring into the club and then hope the board allow us to reinvest it in certain things. And talking of the board, we'll try and do this live on camera as much as I can, but we're going to ask for improved youth facilities and see what they do. We'll ask for training facilities as well. And then I think we will improve our youth recruitment and see what they say to that. Okay, so we've gone forward a couple of days. It's Christmas Day, and the board have said no. They're not going to improve the youth facilities. They're also not going to improve our training facilities, but we can talk to them if we want about youth recruitment. So we are going to discuss this one with the board, and we're going to say, let's improve the quality of players. Let's say we should never be satisfied. We're going to be left behind. We're not willing to consider this request. Brilliant. Way to ruin Christmas. So in the last episode, I asked what should we do tactically in terms of potentially use the meta, which is a 3 at the back system, strikerless, and then you can sort of tweak it to match your squad. Or we stick with the system we were using before, the 4-3-3 or the 4-2-3-1, and hope that it works and it does us a good justice. So what we've actually been doing is rotating between the two, depending on what sort of opponent we're up against, how we think we're doing, who's fit in the squad. We're rotating players quite a lot as well, and it's actually working really well. Now, the 4-2-3-1 has been a solid system for us. We've kept the target forward. When we play this system, Granero starts up front. He is the most physical of the strikers that we've got, and he is scoring goals. In defence, it's actually quite solid and proving to be a pretty good system as well. The meta, let's call it that, which is the 3-2-2-3 strikerless, and then in defence is the 5-2-3 strikerless, defensively is proving to be very, very good. It's very strong. You've got so many people in front of the goal, it's very hard for the opponents to actually create chances. It is very good going forward. I'm not too sure why in terms of the match engine it works so well, but it really does work. With the inverted wingers staying wide, coming in once they've got the ball, the AM running in, the channel midfielders finding space, and then the three at the back giving you good, ample coverage. And if you have the ball long enough in the opponent's half, one of the overlapping centre-backs runs forward and just gets on the ball. So you've always got a rest defence of 2, which isn't great, but it just seems to work, and it's working very, very well. So, yeah, I think, I'm recording this all truths and stuff. I'm recording this before the last episode, or just as the last episode went out, because I've got a meeting tomorrow night, and I'm not going to have time to do this on tomorrow night. So you're seeing this on Friday. This is being recorded on Wednesday night. Normally I leave it a little bit more of a gap, but that's just how it has to happen for me today in this branch of episodes, and hopefully you understand that. But yeah, it's going pretty well. And having a quick flick through the fixtures, this is only very quick update that we're going to do in today's episode. In the last episode, we lost 2-1 to Lazio in the Italian Cup. We followed it up with a 1-0 win in the Serie C Cup, putting us through with Negretti scoring a header. Renate, we lost 3-2 to them on the opening day of the Serie C season. Trasciano, though, scoring 2, the young attacking midfielder, proved to be very good. We followed it up with a 5-0 demolition of Derthona, which is very nice. They're a newly promoted team. They are pretty terrible. 1-1 against Lagnago. We then won 4-0 against Campo de Chicago. Cittadella we beat 1-0. Alcione, we were beaten 4-3. Very unlucky in that one, but a goal for them in the 82nd made it 4-2. We scored in the 87th to make it 4-3, but just couldn't get a result there. Pro Vercelli were probably our best performance in terms of attacking output in September. A 4-2 win. Giallona, Caputo, Trasciani and Inverardi. The front four all scoring in this one because Caputo started up front. Matteo Colombara, 34 and 40th minute, got 2 for Vercelli. But yeah, we were very good. A 2-2 draw with Gianna, and then a 3-1 win over Arizagnano to see out the month, which was really, really good. 3-1. So 1 loss in September, 2 draws, and the rest wins. We moved into October and started with a 3-2 loss against Bluneri, who just seem so strong in this division. They're not leading the division this year, but they are really, really strong. We tried our hardest, we huffed and puffed, but a goal in the 86th minute won it for them. Sudatrol, we beat them 2-1. Vicenza was our game of the month in October and won it 5-2. It was very nice indeed. We had 2 late goals, 85th and 89, just to wrap up the win as they push more men forward. But again, Trasciani on the score sheet, he is proving to be very, very good for us this season. Lumazane was 1-1 to wrap out the season, and Tamburino had an interesting game for them. He scored in the 31st minute and then scored an OG in the 81st minute to make it 1-1. So October, 1 draw, 1 loss, 2 wins. Not too bad. Then we got into November and we started adding friendlies into the mix to make sure that we were keeping our sort of second string players match fit. We started it off by beating Juventus under-23s 2-1 in a really, really good performance in this one. Garnero and Puzzolo with the goals. Novaro, who were top of the league, got beaten 3-2. Lovely stuff, as Inverardi popped up at the back post with a header in the 86th minute. We then drew 4-4 with Pro Patria in an absolutely bonkers game. They scored 4 in the first half and it was 4-2 at half time. But Trasciani and Inverardi got us equalisers and that kept us in the game. Lecco, we won 1-0 thanks to a goal from Galina. And you can tell from the goal scorers how we're rotating the team quite a bit. We got through in the Italian Serie C Cup, beating Adesio 2-0, penalty from Napolitano and a goal from Granero. We then faced, so that was November, where we didn't lose a game. One draw, we'll look at competitive games only. So 1 draw, 1, 2, 3, 4 wins was really good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 wins was really good. And we've just finished December, where we started it with a 1-0 win over Percatalese, and it was Granero with the goal there. Albino Leffe were beaten 2-0. Inverardi in the 37th, and then Negretti from a last-minute corner scored a header. We drew with Dethona, who I said were rubbish, and they are rubbish, but we drew with them 1-1. Trasciano getting us a goal there, and then they scored an equaliser. We're through to the semi-finals of the Italian Serie C Cup after beating Campobasso 3-1 after extra time. Really, we battered them and we couldn't score, but once we got to extra time, I think our fitness sort of pulled through a little bit and we made that one count. And we finished the month against Renate, 2-0 win. We got a man sent off inside 6 minutes, which was Tresciani, but that didn't stop us. Goals from Paracci from left back, Inverardi from left wing, and a good 2-0 win. And we are like halfway through the season, right? We're at the end of December, stepping into January. We're having a great run in the Serie C Cup again, which is really, really helpful. And yeah, we're in a good position, and it leaves us top of the table. Top of the table, on for a potential title charge. I mean, 13 wins, 5 draws, 3 losses, an equal record with Pro Pataria up there, 13, 5 and 3 as well. We've scored more goals, quite considerable amount more goals, but we've only conceded 4 more than them. We have a goal difference of plus 23, which is the best in the division. 44 points level with Pro Patria, 2 ahead of Juventus under 23s, and 4 points clear of Cittadella in 4th. So it is sort of ours to throw away this season, but I think rotating and mixing those 2 formations up and having the rotation in the squad is giving us a really good chance here in the league. Given that we've lost our 2 best players as well, we're doing really well. We are doing really, really well this season. And looking at the XG table as well, we're in 3rd, so we're not really too far away from the barometer we should be. It's us and Pro Pataria, right, who are 1 and 2, and we're 3 and 5 in the table. So Novara and Cittadella are underperforming what they should be doing. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with what we're doing and how it's going, and it's putting us in a really good position for a title challenge, and that is exactly what we wanted this season. We came close in the playoffs last year, losing on a penalty shootout that I couldn't control after picking the players. I mean, you can't control it anyway after you pick the players, but it would have been nice to watch it. But the game soft locked, I think it's called, where you can't do anything other than instant result the game. So this season, top of the league. On Christmas Day, we are top of the league, which is a very nice feeling indeed. And the only last thing to look at is how are the players getting on and who's scoring the goals and getting the assists. So the top appearance maker of the season thus far is Leonardo Cabri, who is a very good player for us. He's still very solid, and when we play the 3 at the back, he plays the ball carrying midfielder in defender in the middle of the 3, and when we don't, he plays as the right-sided centre back and is playing really well. 24 years old, not worth very much, no interest in him, more than happy to keep him around, and he's doing a very, very good job. Second to him, though, is Negretti, with 25 starts and 1 sub appearance. He has been playing really well for us. 19 starts in the league, 1 sub appearance in the league, 3 goals and a 6.83. He's just performing really, really well. 84% passes completed, 100% of his tackles won as well, 76% of his headers. He's just been a solid player. He is unhappy. He wants to move to a club that's stronger in terms of squad selection, which is exactly what Carbone and Fucci said. So I'm hoping that between now and next season, when his contract expires, he sort of calms down a little bit. As soon as he says he's happy, we'll be giving him a contract to make him stay. Similar to what we did, as we just jump around a little bit, to Inverardi. Inverardi came to us and moaned and said the squad wasn't strong enough, he wanted to leave. About 3 months later, he calmed down and said he was, happy to stay at the club. And then we signed him to another 2 year. His contract was expiring at the end of this season, so another 3-year contract. which was really, really good. And if we look at his contract in here, we do now have the optional contract extension for 2 years from the club as well, which is awesome. We gave him £1,000 a week, so he's one of our higher paid players at the club, but I don't mind that. I don't mind. Pitchy's been very good in goal, 24 appearances, 6.89 in there. And Napolitano, who is rotating between right wing back and right-sided centre-back, depending on what system we play. Just really good, outperforming his technical attributes massively, like being pretty solid as much as he goes. Happy to still be a fringe player, 23 years old and ticking along nicely. Goals-wise, it's 10 for Inverardi. He is the star player of the squad, 10 goals. He leads the assists as well, I think, with around about 11. But yeah, he's just performing very well. Again, proving that at this level, have physical attributes, a couple of standout technicals, and you are better than anybody trying to mark you. He also has height and jumping reach on his side as well. Yeah, he's top with 11 assists in the club for all competitions as well. 9 goals for Gennaro, 4 for Galina, 4 for Negretti, and then 3 for Pellegrini and Napolitano. So you can see if we lose Inverardi, we are sort of struggling for a star player. But Gennaro is doing a good job. As I said, when we play the target forward, he starts up front, and he is the most physical player we have up front, and it seems to be working. I think his jumping reach and off the ball, although not as good as Fucci, is allowing him to get into positions and head balls past defenders that are a bit static. So he's playing very well indeed. And then, yeah, Galina's on there in 4, which doesn't really matter. Assist-wise, Inverardi with 11, Cuofo with 6, Gennaro with 4. Inverardi does take corners as well, which will be influencing his number of assists. But Gennaro up there with 4 as well, Pellegrini with 3, Pizzola with 2. Not doing too bad at all. We do have something that I want to try and do in these episodes where we just come back and have a quick look at stuff, is highlight a sort of up-and-coming player who's done well. And in this case, it is Santino Polini. Now, he doesn't look amazing, but he was doing really well in the under-21s or under-20s and under-18s and putting in good performances, consistently being one of the highest rated in training across the whole club. So I thought, let's give him a go. And he has not really disappointed us. In the league, he has now made 13 starts, 2 sub-appearances. He scored 1 goal, got 2 assists, and averaging a 6.78. And he's just doing a really, really solid job. 84% of his tackles won, 89% passes completed, 15 key passes. Like, he's just solid in the midfield. And for someone that isn't that good, again, he has physically, there's not much there. He's got stamina, he's got balance, he's got fitness, so he can get up and down. He's never going to win any headers with jumping reach of 3. He's not going to outpace people. He's not in there to do that. But he's got technique, passing, first touch, determination, teamwork, and work rate, all 11 or above. And I think passing, first touch, and technique for someone that sits in the middle to move the ball around is absolutely brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. It's just what we need in this club. 17 years old, coming through, looking good. So I just wanted to highlight him and show how he's been doing. I mean, we can look at his training in here. You can see his progressions going up. He's got, the graph goes green, by the way, when they're going up. It's quite nice. We're training him more on his passing at double intensity. I've actually gone through and set that for pretty much everybody. Who's that? Pellegrini. Why haven't you got passing? You should be passing as a central midfielder. We'll put you on normal because you're older. But yeah, wingers and fullbacks and wingbacks all have crossing. Anybody that's sort of in a wide position is on crossing. Goalkeepers were now going for reactions. I don't know if you can train aerial reach. Can you train aerial reach? Would that be like, is it not technique, not reactions, tactical, sweeping, distribution? No. I mean, would it be like jumping, strength, jumping and aerial reach? That's what we need to get our goalkeepers on. So let's go through and do that live here. We want to get jumping reach and aerial reach. Yeah, we need to get everybody's aerial reach up better. That is where our goalkeepers struggle. But yeah, if you're not a winger, you're doing passing. If you're a wing sort of player, you're doing crossing, because we rely on lots of crosses into our target forward at the moment. So yeah, we're trying to tailor training into what we want the club to do. We want to be good. There's one I missed out. We want to be good passers of the ball. We want to be good crossers of the ball. And then we'll figure out what we want to do once we get to a position where we don't have a sort of target forward, or someone that can play target forward, because that means it's going to be a big rethink of training. In terms of training itself, I am leaving it to the AI, to the assistant manager, because it's been pretty rubbish. It's so hard to go in and do it. That I go in occasionally and set things up. So like we got tactics, practice and recovery. I might get rid of like match tactics and put something in here like technical, chance creation, because I know that it works on crossing and passing as the priority. So we'll go for a bit of that, chuck that in there. I'll do little adaptations to training like that rather than wholesale changes because it's just such a stupid system. It's even worse than FM24. But yeah, anyway, that was meant to be a just little short episode to update you on how the season's going. I hope you're having a good Friday. This is when it comes out. I'll be back on Monday for the next one. Leave a comment down below, leave a like. It all helps the algorithms get out there. Subscribe if you're new. Join the membership if you want to just support the channel for like £1 or $1 a month. It all is much appreciated. And you'll get your name at the end, and you can join the Discord and get into a special bit on the Discord. And you can message me to say that you want your name in the game as well. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.